Well, look, me and Big U have always been cool. The
Right.
interview you talked about was our first interview. Very respectful. It was cool. We exchanged numbers. We kept in touch. We called each other a couple times a year just to chop it up. Now, I remember Wack was like, people are saying that Vlad is being pressured to speak about Big U a certain type of way. And I'm like, I haven't spoken to Big U.
Right.
I mean, since those ridiculous Nipsey allegations, which was what, maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago or something, 8 months ago. But me and Big U are cool. So I'm not going to switch up and start acting a different type of way because he got locked up.
Right.
If me and you are cool and you get locked up, I'm not going to start trashing you.
Well,
You know, the relationship is where it was, as far
Right.
as I'm concerned. You know, and ultimately, what he's going through, he's going through. He turned himself in, and he's dealing with it. Do you find it interesting that he mentioned Whack 100 in that last video?
no, I don't find. I knew he was. And at the end of the day, everybody that which call him should be worried. That's around him should be worried. I know Big U sitting in there mad as a motherfucker, pissed off by a lot of shit, a lot of conversations he done had with certain individuals about some of the shit that he's done with certain individuals. So he got a lot of shit to think about sitting in that cell, which he going crazy right now.
Yeah, you add up all these charges, you're looking at life in prison. I mean, the bank fraud alone is 30 years. The RICO is 20 years. The Mann Act, each of those is 10 years. Tax evasion, another 5 years. It's a lot, especially for a guy in his 50s at this point.
I think he's 58, 59. Yeah, that's a long 40 years.
58 years
You're
old.
over.
Yeah, you get 20.
It's over.
You might as well just say you're gonna spend your last days
One
here.
thing about this game is when they mad at you, they gonna come at you. And, you know, I listen to them dudes, how they talk. Loose Cannon, how he talk and say a lot of things about events that happened already. And it seemed like they just continue to talk and talk and talk, like building something. And now it's at a point where they ain't had no choice but to get this man. And they've been on him for a minute. So him not knowing, talking on these damn phones, speaking on these interviews, and then these guys coming back and saying shit which they don't even realize they implementing themselves in the majority of all this shit.
Well, part of what he's being charged for is extortion. And I guess he was extorting. Well, they're saying that he was extorting like these local vendors,
Right.
you know, who are, I guess, illegal themselves. But what are your thoughts on that?
If they didn't complain about it, then what the hell? You know what I'm saying? If they not crying about it and they continue to pay over these years, why is anybody else concerned about some of the shit that Big U was doing? Big U ain't the only Big U in L.A., Compton, or Linwood, or nowhere. He ain't the only one out there living that life. You know what I'm saying? So I used to say this. When you're on the street corner selling drugs, you only last as long as you good with all the smokers, and the smokers can come and get. When you start beating them up, you start going to jail. The smokers gonna give you up. And that's all that's happening on the streets right now, especially with him. You know, he got a lot of enemies. A lot of people don't like Big U. And not only because they're afraid of him, and they had to get rid of him. They had to. Half of the shit that I heard that we can't even call him, the people he ran into on the street were petrified of him. He had to go.